It's been 1 year since President Barack Obama swept into office, riding a wave of popular support from Americans demanding change. But as Obama prepares to deliver his first State of the Union address, much of that support has wavered, and many Americans are now wondering if the change they got was the change they wanted.
We have 10% unemployment. When you have that degree of public concern, voters are going to be anxious and angry.
With that in mind, White House officials say Wednesday's primetime address will focus heavily on the economy and the president's plan to create jobs.
This is a speech that gives middle-class families, I think, a lot to hold on to.
Aides say Obama will also talk about health care, the budget deficit, energy, and education, all issues the president says fit into his plan to rebuild the economy. On national security, he'll address terrorist threats, the wars in Afghanistan and Pakistan, and nuclear disputes with Iran and North Korea. And he'll take on the public's anger with Washington, something that boiled to the surface last week in the Democrats' stunning defeat in the Massachusetts Senate race.
I do think the president will talk about, one, how we change the way Washington works, and also talk about the fact that there's no doubt we all have to work together.
But Republicans have some other ideas for the president.
It's my hope that he deals not in a retooled message, but in a changed direction, and that he advances it with the same kind of enthusiasm and intensity that he attempted to advance his health care plan.
The White House says Obama is getting the message. He knows Americans are frustrated, and he'll use the State of the Union to persuade them that he's on their side. But political analyst Darrell West says the president has to match style with substance.
The most important thing is he needs to directly say, I understand you're unhappy. I've heard the message. I'm listening to what you're saying. But then he needs to follow that up with some policy changes that lead people to conclude that he's not just changing his rhetoric, but he understands he needs to get going on the economy.
Perhaps the biggest detail from the president's speech to leak out so far is his plan to call for a 3-year freeze on domestic spending as he seeks to cut back on the mounting budget deficit. Republicans are hitting hard on this issue, and polls show that voters are increasingly concerned as well. Officials here say the plan shows the president is serious about slashing spending, but as with much of what he's proposed this year, there's already opposition mounting on Capitol Hill.